like I was where I belonged. I don't know. I'm probably getting too sappy right now, but
that's fine.
The fact that my experience was different from what has been previously reported is part of what helps convince me personally.
I mean, look, I've said this before to other people, like, if somebody wants to say I believe in God, but I don't claim to have any rational reasoning or any reasoning around that, I just feel this way, and I'm not trying to justify my opinion. This is just how I feel, and if you want to call me irrational, that's fine, but that's what I think. That's more, I think, intellectually honest than saying, oh, these are the reasons, and I think I can show that God exists, and I have evidence for this. Like, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. But if you just want to say you had that experience and you believe it, and it's not, maybe it's irrational, maybe it's not, whatever, but that's what you think, and you're not here to prove anything.
Now we're back to Sarah's problem, which is she had this emotional experience, let's say, of warmth and kindness.
Yeah.
And she is now telling us that she had an experience with the God of the Bible that kills Egyptian children.
I mean, look, as long as she's not trying to make claims that her position is rational. I mean, if she's trying to say, well, then that's different.
I don't know if that matters.
Actually, I don't necessarily see it as rational. If you guys want to think of me having an imaginary friend, it's
described in the Bible. Is that what we're to understand from this?
No, it was not.
Another God.
Maybe she doesn't know. He's asking if it was the Christian God or some other God. I think that's what he's asking.
Oh, actually, I don't remember thinking it was any one name we've given.
So there are 10,000 gods that people have made up. Have you identified which of those 10,000 gods is the right one, and which of the 9,000 remainder are not?
I have not.
So I mean by that, all you're leaving me with is I had this warm fuzzy.
I know. Like I said, I don't expect you to
I had a warm
believe
fuzzy
me.
too.
Yeah, and I don't think she's expecting you to believe it.
Warm fuzzies.
Yeah, Ben, she's fine. She had an experience. It's her own personal experience. Let's just leave it alone. I mean, that's great. At least she admits it.
Absolutely. I had an experience too that I really enjoyed.
Where are the
I
Christians?
did that too this afternoon.
So unpreached left.
Very good.
Is there nobody here that's actually like a Bible-believing Christian?
I'm
surprised. Okay.
I think we got all scared. It's funny how it's like it's the most confident thing they have.
Christian. I think Christ died and was resurrected and all these different things. Yeah, I believe that.
So I want to ask you, do you think that God is perfectly just? Like, he always gives people what they deserve. He delivers justice.
So why don't you just make an argument, dude, instead of asking questions?
Okay, you want an argument? Okay, here's the argument. If God exists, he always gives somebody what they deserve. That he's perfectly just. He does not always give somebody what they deserve, because sometimes he gives grace, and grace is what is called undeserved favor. Conclusion, God does not exist. There's the argument.
Okay, cool story, bro.
Oh, that's your response, cool story? Okay, that's a good refutation. Appreciate it.
I just don't give a shit, dude.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
Jason,
okay, fine.
All right,
fair enough.
Jason, can you deserve something before you exist?
Can I deserve something before you exist? Do you?
That's actually not where I'm taking this.
I don't understand, Albedo. So, like, can I deserve something before I exist?
Yeah, like the way that I would understand it is I earn things on the basis of my actions, and sometimes they're punishment, sometimes they're benefits.
You're just saying, is it possible, given the fact that I haven't earned anything or done something to deserve punishment, how can I do that if I don't exist? So how can I deserve something if I don't exist? more to it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's an incoherent idea. So, but I'm just trying to get clear if that's the way that you understand it too.
Well, but I mean, I don't know how if it would be relevant in the context of that God dispels justice and He always gives. I think the assumption is
I'll get there if we can just get past this part.
Okay. Let's just say that, like, well, I just think the question is incoherent to say that do somebody that does not exist, do they get something that can they be deserving of something? I would say no, because you don't exist.
Okay.
There you go. Go. What's your
call again?
Yeah, and then I'm just going to throw this out there, forgetting about how they might respond. They're committed to this idea that God, like, some of His actions occur with no other people around.
Sure, like God may have engaged in actions when there was nothing.
Right.
Because God is eternal, okay? Right.
And are those actions are they giving someone what they deserve?
Well, I mean, I guess because if you require something to exist in order for there to be, justness or justice in that it is deserved, then I guess no. But can you exhibit justice to, like, things that do not, like, have, like, are not, like, living? I don't know. Like, is it just to create the universe? I don't know. I don't know how I would put that. But I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's I don't know if it's an equivocation, but sometimes people will use just and justice to mean kind of different things. One is like more aligned with like virtuous, whereas like justice specifically is like about deserts and punishments.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like our justice system, justice can be, not like being punished, but being freed, or having, so I don't know if it's necessarily always connected with punishment. I understand the concept that to be just may not have a connection with punishment. So I get that, but I mean, I don't know how. I need to look at it again. So P2, Sully says P2. He would push back on that. That God does not always give somebody what they deserve. That, like, so what? Why would you push back on that, Sully? Because if God dispels grace, which is unmerited favor, then it would seem that He is sometimes giving somebody something that they do not deserve.
It's just weird to say that that's true. That's it.
Well, it's an internal critique. I mean, we're critiquing, like I'm looking at the kind of. What was that?
It's not an internal critique. It's just saying it concludes God doesn't exist. So I'm just saying, like, the conclusion in P2 might be inconsistent.
You might want to do it in terms of like a hypothetical.
It's showing the contradiction in these two views, which are inherent to the Christian worldview.
Yeah, but you want to use this. You want to use this as an argument to bolster your position, though, right?
Correct. I'm showing.
Yeah, and if you think that the argument's not sound, it's not going to, for you, show that God doesn't exist.
Well, it's okay. So maybe to say it as a formal argument in terms of its validity and soundness, maybe it's just showing a contradiction in two positions that results in showing the contradicted nature of the Christian God. So I don't know if you would consider that like a formal syllogism or what, but it's just showing.
You can do it in terms of like a hypothetical, but can you bring Sasha up? She's making.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, let me.
It can definitely be tweaked, Jason. I just was kind of nitpicking them.
Okay.
I mean, I would still say that even if you do it in the form of a hypothetical, I would think it's false. I think most people should think it's false, even if you're any kind of theist. It's very only to think of entities only ever doing things when they're deserved, or sorry, not when they're deserved, like only when they're deserved, rather than like when there's something to be deserved, you give them that.
And by the way, you guys know this is Tom's argument. I'm running Tom's argument. So this is his so-called what he calls the logical problem of grace.
I think
So-
Tom should talk to me about this argument.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if
Why are you reacting like that, Jason?
I don't know. I don't know if Tom wants to talk to you, but I don't know.
Why is that?
Because he probably considers you a contrarian. So,
I see. I thought, we had a conversation recently. I thought
Well-
this unwillingness might have something to do.
well, in that instance, I think it was because it was like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Andrew was like invoking the bodyguard, and he wanted to talk to Andrew, and Andrew was like, Sasha, why don't you talk, Sasha? Let me lick your brain, Sasha. Like, that
Yeah,
kind of shit.
actually, Andrew didn't ask me. I just inserted myself because, I thought it was a bad argument.
I think also like there's times when you are you're arguing for arguing's sake. Like you may not support the argument, but you're just pushing back on that, which that might be another reason why. But we all do that. I do that too.
Well, I don't know. Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're figuring out what's true? You're supposed to try to see, there's this argument against this position, and how could a proponent of that position respond? I think that's a useful thing to do.
Well, I think that's fine, but the other one is be kind of playing devil's advocate. Like I'm going to, which may be fine to support or argue for a position that you don't hold.
Yeah, but also, I'm not committed to any and all arguments against theism being good arguments. That's not my commitment. My commitment is this theism is false. So, I'm not even going against my actual views when criticizing some particular argument against theism.
I thought it was.
In this
I'm
case, I
sorry.
thought the argument was just bad.
Isn't the I can't even remember. Was this the fallibilist discussion? Necessarily.
Yeah, that came up.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I wasn't part of it.
yeah, I thought so.
I think the argument is also not good, but there's a way of framing it in a very similar light, something that I would agree with. And I think it's getting to what the argument wants to show it.
Okay, everybody, this has been another exciting episode of Low IQ Dumb People wasting time talking about absolutely nothing. Hope you guys have a great day and enjoyed the podcast. Take care, Fred. Take care, Michael. Farewell.